Yeah, the world can be a stressful place today, I'll tell you. And you wonder why it can be a stressful place. Years ago, we didn't have cell phones, we didn't have iPods, we didn't have iPads, we didn't have computers, we didn't have high-tech televisions, which require a box, high-tech telephones. Today, a clock is on everything. You buy a toilet, there's a clock on the toilet. You buy a pair of shoes, there's a clock on a pair of shoes. You buy a lamp, there's a clock on a lamp. You buy a picture frame, there's a frame on the, there's a clock on the picture frame. And then what do? We go and have a dog. We buy a dog. Now they're not stressful at all, are they? When they're chewing your shoes, they're chewing the wood in your house, they're chewing your furniture, they're chewing everything up in the house. You have to take them to the vet. They cost you a fortune. You're stressed out from your job today. It's not like it was years ago, like when you used to have a very simple, basically a stagecoach, or you'd walk to work. I kind of think maybe it would be it would be better to go back sometime without all this stress that goes on with all these electronics today. And the future is just getting more involved and more things to do, give you more stress. So therefore, we're giving the doctors and the pharmacists a really good job, a really good business today to be in is to be a pharmacist, right? Because the pharmacist is giving us all the pills now to help us with all the stress. Now years ago they didn't have all these psychotropic drugs to ease your stress, but people just did things as they went along. You know, they fed their family, they had their little simple gardens, everything was so simplified. They went to work, they came home, but now today you have to worry about the box on your TV. You go home, you turn on the box, the thing never works. You go to turn the box off for the cable, one box goes on, one box goes off. So now you're stressed out on that. You go to your computer, you always have to download something. And always that gets stuck, it freezes up, it gets viruses, it gets, and you wonder why you have to take medication. I think if we threw all this crap out, we could throw out all the medication. The medication helps the stress, which we're giving ourselves. Man is making his own stress, man's making his own problems. If we just sit down and say, do we really need all of this stuff? Can't we just live a simple life in a small little cabin, a small little stagecoach, maybe a horse, maybe a donkey, maybe a goat, maybe a dog sled? But you don't need all this technology, you don't need all these fancy cars. I mean, today you have a car, the car practically goes to the toilet for you. Cars can back up for you now. Is this all necessary? This is my thought on why everybody's so stressed out. Nobody's relaxing anymore, nobody's living in the moment like an animal does, like a dog lives in the moment. Human beings, we don't live in the moment, we're way ahead, always thinking ahead, always thinking of the next thing. Our lives are going by us, and none of us are really living it and enjoying it. Is that what we do? We go out to dinner, maybe a couple hours a night, and we medicate ourselves again with alcohol. Now, that is a little bit more natural maybe. That might be the better way to do it. But I just think you could life would be a lot easier, and we wouldn't need all these medications to calm everyone down. I mean, who ever heard of a panic attack back in the day? Yeah, there was a panic attack when Hiroshima got bombed and all the people were running all over the place. That's enough to give you a panic attack. Maybe, maybe when you're on Normandy, on the beach in Normandy, I could see somebody getting a panic attack over that. But getting a panic attack over that your computer isn't working, and your telephone isn't working, and your home phone isn't working, and your car isn't working, and your air conditioning isn't working, and your heat isn't working, and your stove isn't working, and your refrigerator isn't working, and your stereo isn't working, and your iPod isn't working, and your iPad isn't working, and I just think that this is what's going on in today's world. We could all just take a big lesson and just turn the books back about another 50, 60 years, 70 years even, or even 100 years, and maybe we won't have to have all these stressful stress relievers as medications are today.